Alright, you guys, welcome back to another Project by Jay. For today's project, we are picking up the Lancer. So it's actually around 6:30 in the morning right now. I'm on my way to U-Haul to pick up a car trailer so we could just trailer the car home. Car, and then should be able to move it. Car is parked over there. Alright, you guys, so I'm kind of doing some voiceover, and I apologize in advance if it sounds kind of muffled or if I sound like I'm stuffed. It's just the microphone that I'm recording on, and it kind of sucks, so just kind of bear with me. Alright, that took me a couple tries, but it's on there. Just got to get it strapped down, put the wheel straps over it, and tighten it down. And don't worry, U-Haul do print a set of instructions for you to follow. It does come with pictures, so you know how to do this. And they also show the chains where you're supposed to hook them up. So there's chains for the front and the back of the car. And I'm just going to load up these tools right here and push everything over here back to this side. So here they basically share the garage with their neighbors, and when we were touching the car, we were kind of moving stuff over to their side. So once the car is out, I started to move everything back on their side of the garage. All right, you guys, I think we are done cleaning up here. I'm just gonna drop off the keys and then we'll head back to home. All right, we are back here, and here you can see me with the bottle of degreaser. My plan was to spray the underneath of the car, and since it was up on a trailer, I was going to sneak the pressure washer underneath to wash up the underbelly. And long and behold, I found out that I don't even have the pressure washer. My sister borrowed it, so I had to go return the trailer and then pick up the pressure washer and then come back home. All right, so for now, I'm just going to go ahead and put this trailer back together and then return it. All right, you guys, we are here at the junkyard today. Original goal was to get this battery tray, a battery tie down, and also come for some new headlights that I could basically retrofit. But when we got here, the car didn't have no headlights, so we're gonna take the battery tray and then try and look for other stuff that we might potentially need. I also need like a visor clip for the driver's side visor. So probably go inside and find if the clips are there too. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and try to take this battery tray out. All right, so we are out of the junkyard. Didn't really find much of what we needed except for the battery tie down and the battery tray. So we got that. We were able to get the visor clips. All right, let me give you guys a once over of the engine bay before I start spraying it down. Oh man, you gotta love the magic of editing. So, to you guys, it was just only a few seconds between me dropping off the trailer and then having a pressure washer, but it took hours. Okay, so did the best that I could. Took out the intake box and the battery just so I could have access to this side over here. And this is how it looks. I tried to get the undercarriage, but didn't really have good angles to really spray underneath. So did the best that I could. Let me try to see if I can get a shot for you guys. I don't know how it looks, if it's gonna be dark or not. Oh, it's actually not that bad. There's plenty of light down here. Much, much cleaner. Took out the intake filter, saw this side, and I was like, oh, not bad. Looks pretty all right. Flipped it to the other side. Oh man, dirty, dirty, dirty. This is when you know you gotta replace it for a new one. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and change out the instrument clusters lights. So I got a variety of colors here. These are T5s. And in here, there's basically just two screws holding the faceplate cover on, and then there's three holding the instrument cluster on. And once you get those, you can just pull it out and unclip those two wires, and you're good. Okay, so I double checked, and it looked like all the bulbs are in the right spots, and the ones missing actually don't really have anything in it, except for this one. You can see it's for the doors, but the other one, they were just blank. So I'm swapping this one out now. Okay, kind of finished replacing the lights. Kind of got everything back. Really didn't do much. I just swapped out the cluster light to white, and everything else pretty much stayed the same. Okay, so got a few minor things fixed. Was able to fix that light, or basically just replace it. The third brake light over there, I was able to find a bulb and switch it out too. All right, so I do got the car hooked up to the OBD2 scanner now. And I just want to see if it car ends up pulling any codes. I also want to test the O2 sensor. Seems like that could be an issue why the car is running a little bit rough. Or if not that, then it could also be the MAF sensor. So we're about to see how that turns out. Okay, and update on the OBD2 scanner. There are no check engine codes. I found a smog paper here. And basically what it was saying was that the car failed because of a tampered O2 sensor. Now, I don't know what that means, but where's it at? Yellow right here. Tampered rear O2 sensor and a bad gas cap. But everything else passed. Alright, so right now I'm going to be doing a compression test on it. So I'm going to go ahead and just remove these spark plug wires and the spark plugs. So I definitely have bad valve cover seals. You see it's wet there. When I pulled it out, you can see it's really wet inside. And in here, I clearly was running into an issue in cylinder 3 because there was definitely something stuck in there where my socket wouldn't reach over. And when I looked over at my spark plug wires, I realized there was a piece missing. And upon touching that end right there, it just broke apart and fell into like fine dust. So I had to take a needle nose pliers and actually reach down there and grab out the rest of the spark plug wire. And then I was able to fit my spark plug socket over and finally loosen the spark plug and then take it out. All right, so I just went ahead and pulled off the connectors for the fuel injectors back here. Disconnected all four. I'm gonna stick the compression test in and start doing the compressions. All right, so first one, how much is that? 165-ish? Say 165-ish. So at least they're not as, like big difference on the number. It's pretty consistent. So overall, for an old engine, should still be okay. But as of right now, since it is leaking pretty bad, I'm gonna go ahead and replace the valve cover gasket. Since I do have that, so yeah, let's do that. Oh man, you gotta love the guy who invented power tools. This saves so much time and the strain on my wrist. Plus, this was also a gift to myself for Christmas. I used to have them in Milwaukee, but then I let my brother borrow it, and he just kind of had it ever since. So I just told him to keep that one. All right, so check how clean the engine still is. It's pretty dang clean. And as you can see, these are starting to fail, so I'm gonna go ahead and replace those. And here you kind of remember when I took out the spark plug and it was just drenched in oil, so that's why I kind of just took a towel and just kind of runned it down there, just trying to clean up any excess oil that might be in there. I'm pretty sure that last one I didn't really get too deep, so that's pretty sure there's still some more in there. All right, just want to show you guys these little spark plug valve cover seals. So these ones, they actually have a little lip on the inside of it, if you can see. So once you put it on top of here, it'll stop right where the top of the spark plug wall is. So it'll stop, and that way you know not to push it down any further. So that's pretty much where it sits.
And here you can see that I'm taking out the old valve cover gasket seal and then putting the new one in. The thing I like about this valve cover is that the grooves for where the seal sits is actually nice and deep. So when you go to flip the valve cover upright, it actually stays in there. It doesn't move out. And the only thing I will probably change next time is for the spark plug cylinder walls. Probably I'll just add a little bit of RTV before I put those spark plug seals over it. That way, it just give it a nice tight seal and oil don't get in. So that's probably the only thing I do different next time.
All right, and I just want to give you guys a heads up. If you guys are torquing these 10 mil valve covers on, just torque it slowly, because it seems like the valve cover here is made out of very soft metal, so you could basically warp it if you torque it down tight, really tight. All right, so we are going to be checking out or basically changing out the transmission fluid. Your transmission dipstick right here is this white thing right here for the automatic. So you're just gonna take it out and check the level on it. You can also check the color of the oil too. So let me try to get in closer. You can see it actually has some writing on there with lines if it'll just focus. Cold, hot. So you can check the level of your fluid when it's cold or when it's hot, and those are the two different levels. This location right here is also going to be where I will be refilling it too. So for now, we're going to go ahead and jack up the car and drain out the old transmission fluid. All right, let me show you guys where the transmission drain bolt is. So as you guys can see, I took off the front wheel. And you don't have to, but it does make it a lot easier. And the bolt is this big one right here. So it's hiding just behind this cover right here. Like I said, you don't need to take off the wheel, but for video purposes, this does make it easier on me. So we're gonna go ahead and take that off and then start draining the fluid. All right, so I got the drain bolt out, and man, oh man, look at all this shaving that it caught. That is a lot of metal shaving. Hopefully the transmission's still okay. So in case you guys are wondering what size socket to put on this drain bolt, it is a 24 millimeter, okay? All right, so now that we pretty much button everything back up, put the drain plug back, we're gonna go ahead and start filling the transmission fluid up. And the one I got is by Valvoline Max Life for high mileage car, full synthetic, ATF.
All right, be careful when you're pouring this. When I was pouring it at first, it somehow spilled over, so I had to clean it, and then I had to re-pour again. So just pour it slowly.
And as you guys can see, it takes the whole gallon of ATF fluid. So just let me show you guys. Oh, oh, you can't really see, but it's right there, right at the line where code ends. Okay, so now I'm gonna attempt to change out the rear O2 sensor. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jack up just one side of the car and just have it lift up like that. Well, not like that, but you know what I mean. Um, so this side would be lift up, so I could creep under and just switch out the O2 sensor over there, and then just creep back out this way. All right, we're gonna be sliding underneath the car. The car is actually a little low, so I'm gonna have to probably lay down on the cardboard or something, but I want you guys to see what I see. So on the smog paper, it says that O2 was tampered with, and I guess that's what they meant by tampered. So they just added these extension on it. So I guess it'll read less of something. Supposedly it's supposed to help save gas, but I don't need it, so I'm gonna take this off. I also got a new O2 sensor. As you can see, this one is not even sitting flush against. So I'm gonna grab a new O2 sensor and plug it in.
All right, so here, if you guys pay attention to my hand reaching for the O2 sensor, it should not be that easy to take off by hand. Usually you have to fight with it. And then there was an extension bung that they have put on there, and I'm guessing that's the reason why the smog tech call it tampered.
All right, just want to show you guys these are the new one I got. This is the rear right here. This is for the front. I've got it off of eBay. I forgot how much it was, but for both of them, it was around like $30 or something. This is the old one right here from the rear. That's the extended bung. Look, they added. What the heck is that? Oh, damn, I didn't even look. What the heck is that supposed to do? Holy crap. I hope that's just how it came and not what's actually in my exhaust. That would suck. Anyhow, if you guys could tell from the time-lapse video, uh, both of these things, I was expecting a fight. And they came out super easy. The O2 sensor, I didn't even have to put my breaker bar on there. I just hand loosened it and it came out. And then this one, I just had to get the breaker bar in the right position and then it just broke open. So it was super simple. So now we're going to do the opposite and just put everything back. And this is the front one. Looks pretty easy to get to. Just disconnect right here. So for my purpose and for me to feel confident about both O2 sensors, I'm just going to switch them out anyways.
And in here, um, this I really struggled with because for some reason I just couldn't get the O2 sensor threads to catch on. And on top of that, every time I spun it, I had to twist the wire along with it too so it wouldn't be twisted up. And eventually I was able to get it to thread on, but in this case, it was definitely a lot harder to put it back in than it was to take it out.
Alright, just want to show you this is underneath. This is right here is the cat. If you guys can see, that's the O2 right there. So if you go just to the side of it right here, this is where it connects. That's the hole right there. Um, they do have a little rubber piece that goes over that hole. This piece right here that goes over that hole to keep it watertight seal. So all you have to do is just remove the rubber and then basically you just pull out the rubber. In this case, I just kind of had to twist it back and forth and it came out. And then you'll get to this connector. And that's how you disconnect the rear O2 sensor. Okay, now moving on to the front right here. And this is where you disconnect it. And then we're just going to plug in the new one.
All right, y'all. So I apologize. I really thought I put the camera at a good angle that I was not going to be blocking your guys' view, but ended up, I still ended up blocking it. So I apologize for that. But this O2 sensor actually came out pretty simple. The only thing was that, you know, the new ones, it came with really long wires. So once I hooked this up, all I did was just kind of bundle up the wires and then zip tie them to keep them together. So they stay nice and neat.
And if you guys are wondering what size they are, it's a 3/8 for the O2s. And thank you guys for watching. So this is the end of part 2. Stay tuned for part 3. We got a lot more things coming. We got more parts, more toys to play with. So just want to thank you guys for watching again. And if you aren't subscribed, please subscribe, share the video, hit that like button. And until the next video, you guys, take care.